Alright, 2D here, about to jump into my first Theros Beyond Death draft. I haven't really studied the format much, but let's just hop right in. Oh, Storm's Wrath. Okay, so this is pretty close to just a straight up Wrath of God in red. I mean, obviously there's some things that it'll miss, in this very pack actually. Voracious Typhon, if you get it back as a 7/7, this is going to look pretty bad. But then again, you could also build around it in your own deck. We could bring in things like Voracious Typhon. And Wraths are generally pretty good in limited because you can essentially, your opponent's not going to be able to play around it. It's really hard to play around a Wrath in limited just because it's so unlikely that your opponent has one. So it's pretty easy for to wait till your opponent overextends, fire the Wrath off, and just hold on to creatures until you've already kind of like 3-for-1'd them or whatever. Besides that, we have Archon of Falling Stars, which I think is actually probably good. 6 mana is a lot for a 4/4 flyer, but getting an enchantment back from your graveyard when it dies, putting it straight onto the battlefield is pretty good upside. So I could definitely see this being a legit card, sort of like a top end. I don't think you would just put it in any deck, but if you played like one in an enchantment heavy deck, I think it would probably be pretty good. Stinking Lionfish is a pretty hard one to evaluate. I mean, if you're in the archetype with a bunch of instants, it seems very good. But I don't know. I don't know how hard it is to make this a good card. Furious Rise, I think, is just good. As long as you have some ways to turn it on, of course. And even if you get like a couple cards off it, it's worth it. So I think out of all these, the second best card in the back is probably Final Death. That's like between Storm's Wrath and Final Death. And Final Death might actually be the better choice of the two. I mean, for all I kind of talked up Wraths, this is such a splashable card. Like, even if we don't end up in hard black, if we end up in like green-white splashing black or something like that, we could play Final Death. But with Storm's Wrath, we pretty much are dedicating ourselves to red. So I think there's probably an argument to the fact that Final Death is just better than Storm's Wrath. But I'd like to try the more interesting cards, and I do think Storm's Wrath is more interesting. So I think I would say I'm going to take Storm's Wrath with the caveat that Final Death might actually be the best card in the pack. And then I think past that, I think all these uncommons are probably actually pretty good. Stinging Lionfish I think is probably good. I think you just have to build around it to really get it to pay off. But I think if you do, it's probably a really good card. Yeah, so I'd be happy with taking any of these uncommons and really this Final Death. But I'm just going to take the rare here, and we'll go into more of a control-y or mid-rangey plan. I think that'll pay off more with Storm's Wrath. We don't want to be really the aggressive deck with a Storm's Wrath. So looking at red, we do have Omen of the Forge, which is pretty good. It's a 2-mana shock that ups our devotion, and we can eventually sack it to Scry 2. And I mean, I think a 2-mana shock is probably just playable in draft. It's not like great, but it's playable. And having ways to up your devotion for things that care about that. If we get like an Anax or something, that would be pretty good. The rest of our rare cards, Aspect of the Manticore, I think is just okay. Like, not great, because you don't keep the first strike forever, right? It's only when it first enters the battlefield. So it's kind of like a combat trick that doesn't really stick around the way most other flash auras do. It's like you get most of the good stuff the turn you cast it. Satyr's Cunning, I don't even know what this does. Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. Maybe in like a sacrifice deck, it might be worth it to be able to just continually get sacrifice fodder, but even then it doesn't seem very good. Portent of Betrayal, I think, is actually, like, just on its face is not very good. Like, I don't think many decks want this, but specifically in the red-black sacrifice deck, I think this is like extremely, extremely powerful. And probably necessary for that deck to work. Like, you probably have to have a couple copies of this, or your deck is just going to be underpowered. But we're not really all the way there yet, as far as like, if we were to take this, we would go hard into red-black, and I'm not sure that Storm's Wrath wants us to do that. So looking at our uncommons, we have a Daxos, we have an Elspeth's Nightmare, we have an Escape Velocity. I think these two are pretty good. Daxos obviously wants you to be more of like a mono-white build, but pretty good if you are. And Elspeth's Nightmare is pretty good removal. Not great, but pretty good removal. And then potentially, if you're lucky, you get a 2-for-1 out of it. But I don't think it's like great, and I don't think it's really worth going into another color over if we have Omen of the Forge here. And then there's Escape Velocity, and it's probably got the best name out of the cards in this set. And I think I think if you have a deck that like cares about auras and enchantments, and you can like get it back over and over again, it's probably pretty good. But just on its face, giving something +1/+0 and haste is not worth a card. So I think we take Omen of the Forge here. Stay in red, pretty good spell in general. So here our options in red are not great. Hero of the Games I think is actually kind of pretty bad. It's as far as the heroic cards go, or like pseudo heroic. I think this is one of the worst. Just a 3/2 for 3 is going to trade down with a 2-drop so often. It's just not good stat wise. And then its +1/+0 ability is cute if we get more auras, but I don't know if it seems like a pretty replaceable card. And there's another Portent of Betrayal. So we've seen two. If we do go into red black, we have these probably waiting in the wings for us. Like, I don't know how the bots will value them, but I think in real life, like the only people who will want this card is like red black and maybe mono red. If you're like super aggressive, you might want it, but I don't think any other decks want it. So generally they should come back around, I think. And our uncommons, we have Commanding Presence, which I think is actually a really good card. It's going to be really hard to beat your guy in combat, if not impossible. And if they don't, if they're like, alright, well, I can't beat this huge first striking thing, and they just try to let it through, well, then you're just making an army of 1/1s. So it's kind of like they can't win no matter what they do. So as far as auras go, this is pretty, there's always a chance for a blowout with an aura. You slap it on a creature and they kill your creature and you just got 2 for 1. I mean, as far as auras go, I think this is one of the better ones. Phalanx Tactics. Target creature you control gets +2/+1 and each other creature control gets +1/+1. Huh. This is probably wants you to be in the heroic deck. Because I mean, if you play this on a heroic creature like this Hero of the Games, if you play this on it, then everything you control gets +2/+1, and your heroic creature itself gets +3/+1. So that's probably pretty good in that deck in specific, but I don't know about in general. Wolfwillow Haven is good. It's ramp. I guess it kind of goes with our Storm's Wrath too, right? Because we can kind of ramp up into our Storm's Wrath if we want to, and then we don't really have, like, we can turn this into a creature later after we've wrapped and killed everything. We can say, okay, now we don't need the ramp anymore. We can turn this into a creature. So that's pretty good synergy. It's another enchantment too. So if we were to go into like red-green enchantress, care about enchantments, we kind of are well set up with that with this Omen. And then I think another sneaky good card in this set is probably Indomitable Will. I think this is just pretty good. It does a lot of the things that this set wants, right? You want an enchantment, so it lets you get Constellation at instant speed, and it's a good combat trick. It'll work with your like heroic creatures, and also I mean just +2/+1 or +1/+2 is likely to win you a combat, and also it sticks around forever. So it's gonna make like even like a 2/2 is gonna be a 3/4, which is a pretty sizable body. So I think it's really easy to get your money's worth off this Indomitable Will. But I think if we're gonna take, so we're kind of split up here. I also think Nylea's Huntmaster is passable, but not great. So the question is, do we want to go into green or do we want to go into white? And we have 2 good white cards here, but I think the answer is green. I think with what we've got here, this Storm's Wrath and this Omen of the Forge, we want to go more towards a sort of mid-rangey, almost control deck. We don't want to just kind of slap a bunch of... I think red-white is going to be pretty aggressive. You want to slap a bunch of, auras on creatures and get in there. And I don't think that really goes well with our Storm's Wrath as a payoff. So I think we're going to go towards green-red, big stuff, mid-rangey sort of stuff. Stuff that might actually survive our Storm's Wrath. So we're gonna try for that. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, so in our colors we got Underworld Raid Challenge, which I think is pretty good, just because having this escape threat that you can bring back for pretty cheap in terms of escape. I think with escape, even more important than the mana cost is how many cards you have to exile, because really it becomes pretty difficult to bring it back over and over again if it's like a significant number. And only 3 cards means we can bring this back like many times a game, and as a 4/2 it's going to be pretty hard to block it profitably. You know, as a 3/1, it'll probably eventually get itself killed, right? It'll probably do some early damage and then run into something too big and die. We can either not bring it back if our opponent has a threat that's going to kind of invalidate it, or it's going to be pretty hard for our opponent to even have something that size um, that just invalidates it. So I think that's probably pretty good. There's also Moss Viper, which is definitely runnable. I think I mean, there's that fight spell, that fight enchantment, that's pretty good. So if we're able to pick up some of those with Moss Viper, it'll be good. Nyxborn Colossus is okay, I think. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's 6 mana, 6/7. It's okay. If we just need a big boy at the top of our curve, which we might need eventually if our goal is to sort of play mid-rangey, get into the late game. And then there's, I think, probably the best card in the pack is like Shoal Kraken. I don't think it's like great, but I think it's pretty good. Omen of the Sea is definitely runnable. I think Naiad's definitely runnable if you're in that blue flash deck. Farrakha's Libation, I think, is pretty good. Underworld Charger, I think, is okay. And Aspect of Lamprey is probably pretty good. So there's some good black cards in here, some good black and blue. But I think we probably want to stick with red if we can. So we're going to go with the Underworld Rage Hound. We're not really married to green, so if there's like a really good card in another color, we'll definitely go for that. Okay, and we got another pretty good red card in Incendiary Oracle. I mean, it's another good 2-drop, and we can, you know, it's got fire breathing, which is okay, but, you know, the fact that it actually, like, permanently kills things with escape is definitely worthwhile. I mean, that's something to take note of, at least. There's also Nexus Wardens, which I think is okay, and maybe better in our deck if our idea is to sort of go along. Cetacean Petitioner's pretty good. I think we'd run it even though we're, you know, kind of heavier in red than green right now. But I think actually the best cards in the pack are Relentless Pursuit, which is basically just a divination, which is really great in our sort of mid-rangey, you know, make things go to the late game plan. I think Draw 2 is pretty good in that idea. And then there's also One with the Stars, which we would be, you know, we'd be going into like blue-red. We would be potentially, or maybe it is splashable. It's not like we couldn't splash this, but I don't know if it's. I think it's probably about as good, or maybe Relentless Pursuit's even better. But I mean, having a removal for anything is not bad. But we'll just take Relentless Pursuit here, sticking red green. Geez, I think. Let's see. The Triumph of Anax. During each turn, target creature gets +1 or +6 +0, where X is the number of lore counters. Yeah, I think this is pretty bad. Binding of Titans is pretty bad. I mean, the best card here, I think, is Triumphant Surge, or maybe Omen of the Sea. I mean, Omen of the Sea is pretty good. It's another enchantment if we were to go into that plan. If we were to go into red-blue, it would be, you know, it kind of does everything red-blue once. It gives you something at instant speed, right? But then Triumphant Surge is just good removal, which you can never have enough of in limited. Funeral Rites is pretty good, but not something we'd really want to splash for. I think Irreverent Reveler is just pretty bad. I mean, there's just not really artifacts you care about in this format. And Scavenging Harpy is okay. And then Alter the Pantheon, I mean, maybe. I mean, it might let us splash something, I guess, if we were to take it. I think we'd take Triumphant Surge here. This is a splashable card, and it's pretty good removal, so I think we take that. We might end up going Naya. It also gives us an out to go like red-white potentially. We'll see. Alright, I think we probably take Oread here. Oread at Mountain's Blaze. It's not like amazing, but it is a 2-drop that we can play. And it keeps us in red, which is our main color. We can still leave green or white without too much of a problem. There's also Pious Wayfarer, which is probably more for constructed than limited. Cling to Dust, I think is actually probably pretty good in this format, to just have a way to repeatedly get stuff out of your opponent's graveyard, deal with, you know, escape threats forever. Sleep of the Dead, that seems pretty awful. Strident Wave Rider, whenever it enters the battlefield, it gets flying, or whenever enchantment enters the battlefield, it gets flying. That's, it's not bad. Aspects we already talked about, it's not that good. Gift of Strength is pretty awful. And Thaumaturge's Familiar, pretty bad. So, Oread's our choice here. Here we don't have that many great choices. I think, Really, our best choices are in black, I think. I think Mogus's Favor and Soul Reaper Mogus are both good cards, right? Underworld Dreams, I don't know. I would like to see a deck around this. I don't. We're definitely not taking it, but it'd be interesting to see in limited. Sunmere Pegasus is not great, but I think it's okay. Nyxborn Courser is pretty good too. It's an enchantment for things that care about that. It's a 2/4. I mean, it's not great, but it's a decent sized body. The question is, do we take one of these black cards and sort of hedge our bets towards these three different colors, or do we take white? Um, since we already have one good white card, I think the answer is take white. So if we take Nyxborn Courser, we absolutely have to be in red-white to make it work. And then we'll be in sort of a red-white, I don't know, if we could make red-white Enchantress even a thing. I don't know if there's enough stuff that cares about it. Sunmare Pegasus, it is splashable, although it's not a card that's really strong enough to splash for, right? I do think Nyxborn's better. I guess we take Nyxborn, but this means it's not something we can play unless we're going into white for sure. Okay, well, here's Indomitable Will. Here's Furious Rise. We're back in pack 1. So which of these, we're kind of at a moment of truth here. Do we want to try to stick with the red-green plan, or do we want to pick up Indomitable Will? So we currently only have one way to turn on Furious Rise, which is our Underworld Ragehound coming back from the graveyard. But, I mean, if we're going into red-green specifically, if we were saying, okay, we want to do the red-green plan, I think this card will actually be great, because it'll be pretty close to drawing us like 3, 4, in some games maybe even like 5, 6 cards. Indomitable Will is better in just a vacuum. We don't have to worry about building around. We can just say, okay, we're just going to be red-white stuff, and don't have to worry about so much about turning it on. But I'd like to experiment since we're so early in the format, so I think I'm just going to try this out. And we're gonna move more towards the red-green plan. We'll have this white stuff just in case, but we're going towards the red-green plan. Out of this, there's not much great here. I think we just take Portent of Betrayal in case we somehow end up in red-black. Oh, wow. Well, I'll take this. Oof. Okay, Nyxborn Colossus ain't bad. Maybe we should be in red-white. I don't know. Commanding Presence is pretty good. But let's move on to the next pack, see what kind of rare we get. I think Stern Dismissal's better out of these two. We're not going to play this. Oh, okay, we're definitely in red-white. Elspeth Conquers Death is just unbelievable. So, Chapter 1, exile a target permanent opponent controls with converted mana cost 3 or greater. Chapter 2, your opponent's spells that aren't creatures cast 2 more to cast until your next turn. And Chapter 3, reanimate something from your graveyard, a creature. It's going to be a creature in our case, we're not going to get a planeswalker, but yeah, that is the bomb.com right there. So, it is a little sad we didn't pick Indomitable Will there. That would have been pretty good, and I don't know if we can make this Furious Rise work in a red-white deck. But, I mean, what's done is done, so let's just bring back in our white stuff here, and bring in this Elspeth. I guess we'll look at the rest of our pack. Metamized Prophecy is probably okay. I don't. That's a hard one to evaluate. It's just a complicated card. But I think I don't know. It's probably okay, right? Slaughter Priest of Mogus is probably really good in the red-black deck. Mirror Shield. Whenever a creature with Death Touch blocks becomes blocked by that. Well, that's pretty funny. That's a funny effect. I like the flavor, but it's not very good, I don't think. Indomitable Will, we've already talked about that. That's pretty good. Sunmere Pegasus. We get either of these back, we'll be happy. Thirst for Meaning's pretty good. And Omen of Dawn is pretty good. And then I think Flummox Cyclops is pretty good too. So if we get Flummox Cyclops or one of these two cards back, we'll be happy. But, I mean, yeah, that's awesome. So here we've got some good stuff in our colors. We've got Aelcid, yeah. We've got Aelcid, which I hope is the right way to say that, of Life's Bounty. Just a pretty good card, giving protection, being able to protect a better creature from a removal spell, and being a 1/1 lifelinker is not the worst. A good thing to kind of put auras on and such. Karametra's Blessing I think is actually pretty good. Just a 1-mana 2/2 combat trick is great, and the fact that it just it makes it indestructible and hexproof means it's gonna blow out pretty much anything. But I think the best card is probably Iroas's Blessing. This is just a 4-mana deal 4 damage to a creature spell, which is fine, like that you would already play that, but it's a bonus because here it's an enchantment and it slightly buffs a creature. So, I mean, look, let's look at the downside of this. It's an aura, so let's say we have no creatures and we need to kill something, we can't. So that's the big kind of downside to Iroas's Blessing, but it still is basically an enchantment removal spell, which is good in a number of ways. So I think we take that. Yeah, and we'll hope to like wield this Azelit or really Revoke Existence. We probably main deck too. Just there's a number of cards out of here we could wheel and be happy with. We'll take Iroas's Blessing though. Oh yeah, Anax is great. That's almost certainly what we'll be taking here. I think Anax is just a really, really, really good card. Um, it's pretty easy. I mean, this is why cards like Omen of the Forge are good, right? Because it's a 2 mana shock, which is okay, but it's gonna give basically a free pip of devotion to our Anax. So we will definitely take this. Um, I mean, Drag to the Underworld is probably the best card in the pack. Just Black has a lot of removal in this set. Have you noticed that? Black has like a ton of removal at all the rarities. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder if Black's going to end up being pretty good. Also in our colors, there's Omen. Oh wait, we're not green anymore. There's Thrill of Possibility, which is okay. I don't know if it's really. I mean, I guess we have this Elspeth that conquers death, so we could potentially like discard a creature for it. Um, Lean into the Lost Pride's probably okay. Just a 1 mana 3/1's not the worst thing in the world, and being able to suit this up with enchantments, and also it can kill an exile, or it can kill an escape card for good, so that's pretty nice. Ichthyomorphosis is good, but yeah, we're just gonna take the Anax here, I think. Yep, let's grab the Anax. That was loud. Okay, so what do we have here? We have nothing in white, and in red we only really have this Oread, a Mountain's Blaze, but I think we take it, right? I mean, it's not a bad card. A 1/3 is a nice blocker, and it loots away some stuff, which again can turn on our Elspeth that conquers death or help us find our more bomby cards. Um, and if we put like any aura on that, it's probably going to be able to survive our Storm's Wrath and such. Probably the best card is like Destiny Spinner, just a 2 mana 2/3, pretty good, and it has relevant late game ability. Uh, this is probably pretty good. Elite Instructor and Farrakhan's Libation, and that's probably Elysian Caryatid is actually good too. This is probably what we would take if I don't know. It'd be between these two if we were still in green, but we are not, so we're gonna just take the Oread. Oh, here our choice is pretty easy. We're just gonna take the Revoke Existence. We don't really have anything else to pick here in our colors. Minions return. What does this do when it die? Okay, it's got flash. I don't know. That's pretty bad. I mean, they've had effects like this before, and they've just never really been that good. But I don't know if they've had flash before. That might change things a little bit, but still don't think it's very good. Devour Memories, pretty good if you were in if you're in a blue-black deck. And then this is the second Slaughter Priest of Mogus we've seen. We could have probably had a pretty good red-black sacrifice deck if we snatched up both these Slaughter Priests and taken that Elspeth's Nightmare early. Would probably be a pretty good deck. But let's take the Revoke Existence here. I think this is main deckable in this format. Ooh, there's a Gary. Sure. Okay, so here we have a Careless Celebrant, which I think is a really good card. I mean, this is going to trade up so many times, right? I mean, it's going to be, if a 4/4 blocks this, it still dies, right? So I think it's pretty good. There's also this Pious Wayfarer, which I think is usually going to be pretty bad, but I wonder if specifically in our deck, I mean, we just have so many enchantments, right? We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 enchant. Like almost every card in our deck is an enchantment. I wonder if those actually would be pretty good. It's gonna be like a 1 mana 2/3 most of the time. I don't know. That might be worth trying in this deck, but I think we're just gonna pick the Celebrant. I think it's just much better without having to worry about trying to make it work, right? Well, there's nothing great here. I think we take Escape Velocity. Again, if we do sort of stumble into some sort of Enchantress theme, this might be pretty good, but not a great pack. Triumph of Anax. Well, we've got Anax, but I don't think we want his Triumph. This is just a really bad card. Scophus Maze Warden's not bad. Just a 4 mana 3/4 that we can make into a 6/1 at any given time. And if we do somehow pick a Labyrinth out of the next pack, then it'll be a great combo with that. So I think we just take the Scopus Maze Warden. Man, I don't know if this is the Slaughter Priest we saw earlier or another one, but that's a lot of Slaughter Priests. There's nothing for us to really take here. I guess we take Omen if we somehow end up back in green. We'll take the Karametra's Blessing. We've got a lot of enchantment creatures, so it's probably pretty good. I think it's better than taking a Leonin. I mean, we would like more creatures. We're a little bit light on actual threats here. We have a lot of kind of non-creatures, but I think Karametra's Blessing is still what we want to take. This Captivating Unicorn just isn't that great. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not great. So I think we'll go with the Karametra's Blessing. Nothing for us here. Take the Libation. We'll take, I guess, the uncommon. Fill up those treasure chests. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be playing the next Born Brute, but we'll take it. Oh my god. Underworld Breach. Part of me wants to take this just to see if I can make it work, but I think this is just stone cold unplayable. Like, I don't think this is a card we can pick. Even for fun, I don't think it does anything. So we're gonna skip it. Maybe if we had some sort of self-mill deck to turn it on, but or maybe if we even were still in red-green and we had like a lot of ramp, it'd be worth it. You know, just in the late game, slap it down. And if we've got like 8 mana, maybe we can cast like 2 or 3 cards from it, which is okay. But I think we're not really there with this deck. So we've got 2 good white uncommons though, Dawn Evangel and Acid of Life's Bounty. So we want to... The thing with Dawn Evangel is really good. I think this is actually a really good card, but how many auras do we actually have, right? We only got the 1. No, I guess we got 2. We got the Iroas' Blessing too, but we don't have... The point is we don't have a lot of them. Maybe we don't need that many. Maybe, you know, it's a 2/3 body at worst, also an enchantment, so that's something. And then when it does eventually proc, it'll be pretty good. Acid's also good. More of in a vacuum, you know, we can protect a bigger creature from removal. So I think we take the Dawn Evangel. I think this is a kind of a toss-up. I'm not sure. I think there's more value to be had from the Dawn Evangel, so I think we'll take that. Oh, here's another Dawn Evangel and a Laguna Band Storyteller. So, this is something. I mean, we can like Omen of the Forge, sacrifice it, kill something. Then put Omen of the Forge back on top of our deck with Laguna Band Storyteller. I mean, we have ways to get enchantments in the graveyard, including the fact that like all of our creatures are enchantments. And this is something that's almost at 4 power for a Furious Rise. I still want to make this work if we can, but I don't know how likely it is. It's getting harder and harder to find enough stuff, but I think we take that rather than a second Dawn Evangel. I think Laguna Band Storyteller is actually better. Especially because we have more like enchantment creatures than auras. And we'd also like to get back to Karametra's Blessing. Maybe we're just like enchantment creature beatdown. Like take advantage of Karametra's Blessings, take advantage of Laguna Band Storyteller being able to buy back our creatures. I could see that. So let's grab the Laguna Band Storyteller. Ooh, so I think we could actually turn on this Feyard of Iroas pretty well. Again, like most of our deck is like enchantments, either with enchantment creatures or, you know, things like Elspeth. So I think it most turns will be a 3 mana 2/2 double strike, which is okay, but I think, you know, I don't think we can beat Banishing Light. Just removal for anything, yeah, we're gonna take that. Well, here's Heliod's Punishment. So we have a couple choices here. Heliod's Pilgrim I think is pretty good, but we just don't have... I mean, I guess the auras we do have are pretty powerful, and Heliod's Punishment is another removal spell. And it's not like the best removal spell either. I mean, I don't know. Like, it eventually goes away, right? It's basically a pacifism, but a little bit better because it actually gets rid of their abilities too. But eventually, you know, 4 turns later, they're gonna get this thing off of them. They're gonna lift the rock, I guess. Like poor Heliod has to do there. I don't know. We just got so much removal and just not that many threats. I think I'm just going to take the Heliod's Pilgrim because not only is it nice to have a creature that kind of, you know, it's a 2-for-1 in and of itself, but the auras we do have, and hopefully we'll pick up at least one more, but the auras we do have are pretty good. So I think we take this. Okay, and here I think we take the Daybreak Chimera. I mean, oftentimes we won't be able to get this out super early. Like, we're not like a super hardcore White Devotion deck, but even if we can knock like a couple mana off it, like if we go like Nyxborn Courser turn 3, next turn play a Daybreak Chimera for only 3 mana, that's not bad. So I think we take it. I mean, our other choice would be like another Nyxborn Courser, which isn't bad, but I think Chimera is just better probably. Here there's nothing great. I think we just take the Leonin. There's another Oread. We'll pick up the Oread. Ooh, and here's another Dawn Evangel. Man, we have all these like aura payoffs, but we only have a couple auras, so we'll take that. So here's gonna be I think my meme pick for the draft, Pious Wayfarer, which I just don't think this is a very good card. But in our deck in specific, I mean, we just have so many enchantment creatures. This might actually be good. It might actually be just a 1-mana 2/3, which is okay. So we'll take that. Man, another Pious Evangel. Okay, we'll take it. Yeah, and here's a Favorite of Iroas, which is pretty good in our deck, I think. We'll take a Portent for the sideboard. Put the Flicker in the sideboard, and another Portent in the sideboard. So you can see how late those Portents went, because just nobody wants those cards except red-black. But if we were in a red-black deck, which we could have been, these would have been very, very, very good, I think. So we got to cut 4 cards. And I don't think they're going to be any of our 4-drops or 5-drops. I think these are all pretty good, so I wonder if we should run 18 lands, maybe. Go down to Leonin. We'll go down this Furious Rise. I just don't think we can get it there as easily as we would want to run it. As nice as it would be to have like a card advantage engine like that, I just don't think we're going to get there easily enough. I guess we can go down the Scophus Maze Warden, even though it's a pretty decent card, it just doesn't have much synergy with what we're doing. And maybe go down one of these Dawn Evangels. And this looks, I mean, this is pretty good. We've got, let's do a count of our enchantments. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12 enchantments, and we have a number of ways to get them too, like Helios Pilgrim and Laguna Band Storyteller to kind of get more enchantments back. So we've got kind of like an aggressive mid-rangey deck. It'll be interesting to see how this deck turns out. It's kind of divided a little bit in what it wants to be doing. Like we've got some pretty aggressive cards like Pious Warfarer, Careless Celebrant, you know. And then we also have some really mid-rangey cards, like our big kind of payoff cards, Storm's Wrath and Elspeth Conqueror's Death, are both cards that really don't want to be aggressive. So that's kind of divided in mind, but I think we've got a strong enchantment theme. We've got some good payoffs for like our auras. We have some good value. I think we have enough synergies for this deck to be pretty okay. So let's give it a shot and maybe change things up a bit if they don't work out. I don't know. This is my first draft of the format, so it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I'm not really sure what to expect. Okay, game 1 against Stir Fry, and yeah, we'll keep this. We can go turn 3, Favored by Iroas, turn 4, put Commanding Presence on it, and hit for an absolute truckload. That seems pretty good to me. And then we're probably going to have an enchantment for every turn after that, so yeah, I'm liking what we're doing here. Okay, so green-white, sure. Okay, the green-white enchantment deck. We will play Favored here. We might end up Omen of the Forging to get something out of the way, potentially. There's a Caryatid, sure. Okay, they missed their land drop there, so because of that... Okay, first we're going to attack. Let's see if they block. Oh, please do. Please do. They don't block. Okay. Oh, we should have... Well, first punt of the format. I should have flashed this in when they didn't block. Missed out on 2 points of damage there. But we're still going to do it. We're not going to pretend like we didn't just punt there. Because we want to keep them off mana if we can. Okay, there's another Setessan Skirmisher. Sure. Okay, good. Land's good. So I think here we just commanding presence, make this thing gigantic. Now it's a 4/4 double striker, like, and our opponent's. uh, okay. Well, there's game one in the bag. Um, let's see. So green white enchantment. So we really got him by killing their mana dork there. They were dependent on that. Is there anything we want to bring in? There's not any, like, we already main decking our Evoke Existence, so it's not like there's more we can bring in as far as that goes. No, I think we're looking pretty good. We'll just run it back. So game one went pretty much exactly as we wanted it to, and this looks pretty good too. I mean, Dawn Evangel pays us off for getting auras, and Helios Pilgrim can go grab us an aura, so... Okay, there's another skirmisher, sure. We will just play an Oread here. Opponent gets in. We're not going to block. We can see what's going on. Okay, there's a Nexus Warden, sure. So I think we just play the Dawn Evangel here. And nope, no attacks. Yeah, we're not going to block. Oh, Storm's Wrath's not bad. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. I think what we do... I think we'll just pass. Plan on Omen of the Forging the Skirmisher. Sure. Yep, that's fine. We're going to try to get as much value out of this Storm's Wrath as we can. So, we're going to try not to play into it. We're going to play out this Omen of the Forge. Hopefully in response to him attack, you know, when he attacks with his Skirmisher here. Okay. We will block with the Oread. Yeah, we'll block with the Oread. If this somehow goes wrong, we're okay to lose the Oread here. Oh, okay. Just lets it die, sure. Alright. That's something we can kill. Do we want to just shock? No, we don't. So we're gonna loot here. We'll loot away Mountain is fine. Draw Triumphant Surge. Okay, and I think we'll just pop off the Storm's Wrath now. Yeah, let's just do it now. Get a lot of value. Let our opponent untap. Sure, there's Favorite of Iroas. We have a little more going on than our opponent, though, so... Here, I think we will... I kind of wish we hadn't looted away that land now. I was thinking we would probably eventually draw one, but here, we'll do Anax here. Yeah, opponent's gonna scry too. Omens are pretty good. Having that scry ability, it's pretty good. But we do have a Triumphant Surge if they have a big threat here. Okay. Then we'll just attack with our Anax, sure. We're not going to suit it up with Command Presence because we want to be able to Omen of the Forge in response if they do something. Okay. Now we're going... yeah, now we'll Omen of the Forge. Kill the Favorite of Iroas. Yep, opponent goes and gets a land. And we can play Oread at Mountain's Blaze. Pass turn. I mean, this deck is performing pretty well. I mean, I was a little iffy. I didn't know how strong our enchantment theme was going to be, but it seems like it's paying off pretty well here. Okay, there's a Nyxborn Courser. Ooh, and a Laguna Band Storyteller. Probably to get back the... yeah, the White Omen. Not bad, not bad. But... let's see. So our opponent's going to have 5... So if we put Commanding Presence on our Anax, I guess we do it anyway. We'll put it on our Anax. And I mean, okay, well, our opponent skips it up. So we just kind of crushed our opponent. You kind of saw the power of that White Aura Commanding Presence. Both the games, it was just so... I mean, our opponent either didn't block and just took a ton of damage and we kept making 1/1s, or they just had to like chump forever, just because +2/+2 in first strike is like so hard to beat in combat. So, all right, on to the next game. We just pretty much destroyed with this red-white deck, red-white kind of enchantress aggro deck. Pretty cool. On to the next one. Alright, yeah, we'll keep this. Karametra's Blessing's a little awkward with Rage Hound. Not exactly. I mean, our opponent will at least probably think, oh, they're just attacking because they have to, so maybe we can get a blowout like that. But really we're keeping this hand because Elspeth the Conqueror's Death is in it. Ooh, green-black. Okay, well there's both of our rares, one after the other, so not bad. Black does worry me, though, because they could potentially snipe this Elspeth the Conqueror's Death out of our hand. Okay. Yeah, well, we have to attack here. Well, we got the blowout we were hoping for. Aha! Our opponent did in fact think we were doing it because we had to. So, that's something. Alright, there's a Typhon. Which means we are gonna lose our good boy, unfortunately. Yeah, we have to do it. Yep. And I guess we just play this Laguna Band Storyteller for no value. Just to get a creature on the board, because next turn we're going to Elspeth that Conquers Death, eat this Typhon most likely, to get it gone forever, so it won't be coming back over and over and over again. And no blocks. So it's probably going to be a long time. I guess potentially we should have just held on this Laguna Band Storyteller. Oh my god. I still think we take the Typhon. If we draw another red source ever, we can Storm's Wrath away this Berserker. Hopefully they don't have a way to destroy our Elspeth that Conquers Death. I'm really regretting playing this Laguna Band Storyteller now. No blocks. Dawn Evangel, okay. How many cards? We can't quite buy our dude yet back, so we'll just play our Dawn Evangel. Pass the turn. We'll probably try to double block this Rage Scarp Circle, which can go badly depending on what they have in their hand, but yeah. Well, yeah, we get to kill that, which is nice, as an enchantment creature. And we get to buy back this Rage Hound. We don't have any other way to get this back, do we? I don't think so. So we'll just... Yeah, I think our Storyteller was the only way to get it back. So we'll just do this Rage Hound now, which can start attacking through this Rage Scarp Berserker. Okay, they got an escape creature of their own. A little scary. Okay, I guess we go to combat. We'll attack. We have to attack with the Rage Hound, so let's see if they trade. Oh, they can't block with the Charger. I forgot. This card has a downside. So we'll play Dawn Evangel, Orietta, Mountain's Blaze, pass the turn. So we get to eat the Charger here if they just want to attack in with it. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to Storm's Wrath here, so we'll attack with the Rage Hound. I guess we should do it main phase in case we draw something we want to play. Okay. Well, Iroas' Blessing is not bad. We get to kill that Berserker with it, which is something. Although they are holding up mana. They have been holding up mana at least, so maybe they have a removal spell, potentially, which would be bad. Ooh, Enemy of Enlightenment. It's -1/-1 for each card in your opponent's hand. So I guess we just do this. We will Laguna Band Storyteller, put this on Laguna Band Storyteller, blow up the Berserker, attack with these two, and yeah, that's all. Okay, our opponent's at 4, and this thing can't, this card, I guess the Oriad's fine. This thing can't block, so I mean, they gotta draw something here to save them. Man, this Underworld Ragehound has done great this game. Escape's such a strong mechanic. Even on something as dinky as this, it's so good. Okay, yeah, we'll just take 3. Sure. Nah, it's not gonna do it. So, our opponent is dead. So just attack with everything, and that's the game. So we got him pretty well here. Yep, sure does. We just sort of put too much pressure on them. They weren't able to get their footing, and this charger actually looked pretty bad there. It looks like when you're on the back foot, I don't know, I read that charger and thought it was a pretty good card, but when you're on the back foot, that looked just awful. So let's see, they were a green-black, I don't even know, I don't know if they had a theme, maybe just green-black mid-rangey stuff. Anything we want to bring in against that? I don't think Portent's all that good. I mean, if we Portent to steal a, like, if they bring back a big 7/7 from their graveyard and we use Portent to steal it, that's pretty good. But I don't know if that's worth it. We'll just run it like it is. Okay, game 2, and yeah, we'll keep this. We got turn 2 Revoke Existence, turn 3 Dawn Evangel. And if we draw 1 red source for this our Oasis Blessing, that's pretty good. Oh my god. Okay. I did not expect to be honest, I did not expect to ever see this card played. Ever. I don't know what's going on in our opponent's deck where this is a good card to play. Maybe, I mean, it gives them hexproof. Maybe there's something... we're gonna... Then we just play Favored by Iroas here. Start getting our plan together. If we draw a red source next turn, we can Oread to turn on our Favored, and also Revoke Existence to kill the Soul Reaver. Okay. Tower Scout, sure. That's pretty good. So we did not draw a land, so I think instead we're just going to go Nyxborn Courser. And no attacks. And next turn we can, even if we don't draw a red source, which is what we would like, but if we don't draw a red source, we can go Revoke Existence, kill their Soul Reaper with it, and then play Dawn Evangel to proc our Favored of Iroas. Okay, never mind. We're going to be killing that. Okay, ooh, we get to kill both. So I think this turn... Yeah, next turn we can do Iroas' Blessing. This turn we will... I don't know. Okay, this one we're going to Iroas' Blessing. Yep. And we're going to blow up the... we're going to blow up the Soul Reaper. Because potentially they can sack stuff in response, right? If we don't. They can leave up mana so that when we play removal spells, and this way they can double block and kill our creature, but it'll kill both of their creatures. So I mean, if they want to do that, that's not so bad. We basically 2 for 3 them, sure. Yeah. We're definitely fine with this. So we get to kill. We wipe our opponent's board, and we still have a pretty good hand here. And our opponent's got a freaking mirror shield. Okay, there's an Underworld Charger. Still can't block. Okay. Alright, we will Heliod's Pilgrim. Go and get our very good commanding presence. Play Dawn Evangel. And we'll just start attacking. We're just gonna... We don't really care about this Underworld Charger. We can beat a 3/3 hitting us every turn. Sure. The fact that it can't block is pretty devastating. Like, yeah, they can untap it, but it doesn't matter. It can't do anything. Okay, Cetacean Petitioner is not bad. Okay. Here we will... What's the best thing to equip this? I guess on the Commanding Presence. Put this on the Commanding Presence. And... attack with our Nyxborn Courser. So now they either have to start chumping or start letting us make free 1/1s. Not a good way, not a good place to be. Okay. Yep, make a 1/1. Play the Oread, pass turn. Okay, I think we'll just chump this guy, and that's fine. Oh, another Underworld Charger. That's a little bit... Ooh, Lagoon Storyteller. Oh, we can put Iroas' Blessing back on top, which is exactly what we're going to do. That's a great draw. Yep, put it back on top, gain 4 life. And we will attack Nyxborn Courser. Make a 1-1. And pass the turn. I don't know if we're going to use this Oread of Mountain's Blaze or not, because we kind of want this Revoke Existence. Nexus Ward, we're not really with that. Okay, Iroas' Blessing. Yeah, I think we... Iroas' Blessing on our Nyxborn Courser. Blow up the Nexus Wardens to cut off life gain. Go to combat. Attack with the Courser. And that's all. Get another 1-1. Pass turn. We're just kind of crushing them under this giant Nyxborn Courser. Yeah. Sure. We will get to block and eat the Setessan Petitioner, and we'll just double jump these. So they got... Because they want to get back the Courser, right, is what they want to do. But we just don't... we don't want to let them. Okay, let's loot first. See if we draw anything interesting. We'll discard this mountain. We do an Oread. Okay, so we will attack, and attack. Leave these two back. Oh, I guess they're just dead, aren't they? Sorry, I didn't look at their life total until after I declared attacks, which is not what you want to do. You generally want to know if you can kill your opponent before you declare attacks, but... Anyway, they're dead. Let's just pretend like I meant for that to happen. So yeah, another pretty crushing win for this red-white, kind of like enchantment aggro deck. This is a cool deck. Pretty interesting sort of like enchantment synergies to really buff up the aggro strategy. It's an interesting way to go, so... Alright, on to the next one. Alright, game against Comer, probably. And, yep, we'll keep this. We've got our favorite. I think this card is actually better than I was even thinking. I thought this was going to be pretty good in our deck, but I think every time we draw Favorite of Iroas and we have a handful of enchantments, well, I guess we only have one in this hand, but if we draw, it just feels unbeatable. Like, all it takes is one aura on this thing, and our opponents usually just scoop it up, so... Pretty cool card. We have removal here. We have Careless Celebrant for turn 2. This hand is pretty much everything we want. I like the art on this Plains. It's pretty. Mountain's okay too, but I like that Plains. Okay, Plains, pass turn. Okay, Hateful Eidolon. That's a little concerning. We will play the Careless Celebrant. If they start going just removal spells, it'll be scary. Okay. Mountain's actually a good draw there. So we'll attack with the Celebrant first. Okay, our opponent just takes it. We're okay with that, we just don't want them to kind of start going off with a draw, so... I think we'll go Plains, play Favorite Iroas, and start getting in... Yeah, potentially we should just do nothing and start building up to getting a huge payoff with the Storm's Wrath, but I think... Favorite of Iroas, followed by Nyxborn Courser is a good enough... Okay, yeah. Especially now, is a good enough play that we want to be doing that. Get in for 4. And now we have a Triumphant Surge for anything they play that can block. So, we're pretty happy with where we're at right now. We're not going to block here. It's just too easy to get blown out by like a Mogus's Favor or something. Wow, another Charger, sure. Ooh, Oread's good. Yeah, we'll play the Oread here. Give our Favorite of Iroas double strike. Get in for 6. Pass turn. We have this Triumphant Surge to help us like win the race, so I think we should just keep going aggro here. Especially because nothing on our opponent's board can actually block. Omen of the Dead, sure. Yeah. I think we're gonna loot here. And loot away Storm's Wrath. That feels weird, but I think that's the right move. Ooh, Banishing Light. Sweet. So I think we just go Banishing Light. Yeah, Banishing Light. Get Hateful Eidolon out of the way. Proc our Favored Iroas. Yep. Goodbye, Hateful Eidolon. Play Rayhound. And get in a big chunk of damage. Yeah, we're just winning the race here, so we should have it here, because our opponent's not going to be able to block with these two, and if they play, like, even if they get something big and play it here, we can just Triumphant Surge it. Yeah, it was a weird feeling to, I mean, loot away probably the strongest card in our deck. Maybe Elspeth Conqueror's Death is the strongest card in the deck, but it's up there. But I think that was the right thing to do. So our opponent's pretty dead here. Yeah, hit us for 6, sure. Not going to block. Yep, and our opponent scoops it up. Whew. Okay, so I've been surprised by how unimpressive Underworld Charger has been. That card, we've won many times in just the few games we've played because it can't block. So our opponent's playing green-black, huh? Green-black, looks like probably mid-range because we're playing Hateful Eidolons. They probably just have like some enchantment. I don't think there's any of this we want to... Yeah, we'll just run it back. Yeah, we'll keep this. We need something here. I mean, this isn't really great on its own. Well, Storm's Wrath's not bad. Storm's Wrath, if we do nothing, at least we can hopefully Wrath our opponent's board. Well, Dawn Evangel is pretty good. Okay, so we can go Favored Iroas into Dawn Evangel into, like, Karametra's Blessing. Yeah, there's not a World Charger, sure. Okay, looking pretty good. Favored Iroas, pass turn. Yep, opponent gets in for 3. Sure. Oh, they milled 2 pretty good cards. Chain Whip, Arachneer, sure. I think we Nyxborn Courser just to have a good blocker for Underworld Charger. Attack for 2, or attack for 4 rather. Okay, our opponent lets it die. They're planning to get it back as a 3/5, which won't. Or I guess it comes back. Okay, it comes back as a 4/5, so that means we can actually exile it. Yeah. Should we block? We're not gonna block. Forget it. Alright. Some self-mill here. Death Touch, sure. It's not an enchantment creature, is it? It's... Okay, we're gonna attack with both. We should be able to kill it no matter what they do. Okay. Well, change your mind. Okay. Changed her mind again. Alright, no. Okay, and now we get to Omen of the Forge. Deal 2 damage to the Hierophant. Give this double strike. Now the first strike's gonna kill it before the Death Touch kills our creature. And yeah. And we'll just pass the turn here. That was a little, not the best turn, you know. I think that was the right block to pick there. Because if they hadn't done that, we could play another Dawn Evangel. Yeah, get him for 3, sure. Let's see if they just get back the Arachneer. Okay. Pantheon, sure. We can blow that up with Revoke Existence, actually. Yeah. We'll do that. Keep them off of 5 mana. We can play the Celebrant here, too. Okay. Just gonna Omen of the Dead, sure. Get back Gary, okay. Alright, and... yeah, I think we just get in with Iroas, our favorite of Iroas. I think rather than play the Celebrant here, we're actually going to leave back our Nyxborn Courser with a Karametra's Blessing. Because we want to block our... Oh man, another Omen of the Dead. They just got a ton of Omen of the Deads. We want to block this Underworld Charger, but they obviously have some kind of removal spell. And we want to be able to play around that if possible. So we will block, sure. Yep. And we will Karametra's Blessing, give it Hexproof. Okay. Ooh, not bad. Okay, I think we just Daybreak Chimera, get a flyer in the air, play Celebrant, and pass the turn. So our opponent can Mogus's Favor to kill our Celebrant, but that, you know, that takes some of their mana and some of their cards out of their graveyard, and we can shock them in the face for their trouble, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, Nessian Boar. Uh-oh. Well, luckily we have an answer to that, but that is a scary card. Yeah, doesn't matter which one we do here. Do that, gain 4 life. We will attack and attack. Alright, pass turn. Opponent does have a Gary to gain, I mean, Omen of the Dead. These are adding 2 devotion. Yeah, Gary's gonna drain us for 6 here. Ugh. Okay, we will block. I guess block and take 3. Do we want to double block this charger? I guess not. Okay, Heliod's Pilgrim's pretty good. Although I guess it can't... I think it's still better than just playing out another Dawn Evangel. We're not going to be able to cast this until next turn, but... yeah, we'll take the Commanding Presence. Get in for 3 in the air, pass the turn. Well, double Gary. Okay. Couldn't play around that. That's going to beat most things, double Garys. That's why it's an uncommon now instead of a common like it was in original Theros. Just, multiple Garys is pretty hard to beat, so... actually, dang. I guess we probably should have brought in that 3-1. It looks like their deck is pretty graveyard focused, so having that 3-1 to snipe a card out of the graveyard is probably worth it. So that's what we should have done. I just clicked at a sideboarding a little too fast there. But hopefully we can still win this. We'll play first. Okay, we got Elspeth that conquers death. We got our Storm's Wrath, so we got kind of the control hand here. We've got removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, and then a big finisher to kill our opponent with. Yep, we'll just go Mountain, pass turn. Plains, pass turn. Oriad's not bad. Run out the Oriad. Loot our way into an... yeah. Can loot our way into a white source, potentially. I think that's probably what we'll do here. Play the Mountain and pass turn. And what we want to do here is loot, draw a white source, Elspeth. There's Venomous Hierophant, sure. We will loot. I think we'll loot away another Oriad. Awesome. White source. Yep. So things are going exactly how we want. Elspeth that conquers death. Take the Venomous Hierophants. Get it for 1. And we even set ourselves up to get something back in the graveyard. If they don't kill our Saga here, we'll have enough devotion to play our Daybreak Chimera and also leave up Omen, which will be sweet. They're targeting it, so they may want to kill it. I'm not sure. Whoa, just leaving up 5 mana? Okay. Alright, we'll go to combat. Attack. Sure. And we will Daybreak Chimera, put a 3/3 flyer on the battlefield. Pass turn. Now we have Banishing Light to deal with, you know, anything too problematic. Ah, not bad. Oh, we should have flashed into Omen of the Forge. Well, I guess Oriad's an enchantment creature. Yeah, we should have flashed into Omen, though, shocked him, and then sacrificed the Omen. That would have been better, but at least we had the Oriad to sacrifice. Okay. Bring back Oriad, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So not bad, not bad. Got quite a lot of value out of that 5 mana. I guess we just pass. We can start looting stuff away with Oriad, potentially. Probably just loot away this Revoke Existence. I don't know what our opponent's doing. I doubt, I mean... Seems like they have stuff to play, but I don't know. Okay. Yes. In response... So Catobleplast is going to try to kill our creature, but we're going to kill Catobleplast in response, which lowers their devotion from 3 to 1, which means our creature lives. And we will loot, get rid of the Revoke Existence. Which got better removal spells. Okay. Check damage, play the Courser, and I'm thinking we've got this game in the bag. I mean, we've got Banishing Light, yeah. Okay. So our opponent got us good in game 2, and we just sort of destroyed them in games 1 and 3, though. Like, it wasn't especially close when we won. But the double Gary was pretty backbreaking in game 2. Gary's still good. Can you believe that card was a common to begin with? Oof, yikes. But this red-white deck seems extremely impressive, so yeah, on to the next one. Alright, playing against Matty V8 3-4, or 3-1 rather, and we'll go first. Hey. No, we can't keep this one. Well, it's not great, but we'll keep this one. We'll go down, I guess, the Anax. We need to specifically draw a mountain for the Anax. It's a little unfortunate because, I mean, probably the best thing we could do with this hand is go mountain, play Anax, bump up our Pious Wayfarer, but, yeah. Well, there's an Oriad. That's not bad. Sure. Get it. Pass turn. I mean, a land here would be good. We could go next turn. We could do Banishing Light. Yeah. That's not good. Alright. We're in bad shape now. If we had a land there to play this Heliod's Pilgrim, I think we'd be in really good shape. But missing that turn is probably going to cost us. Well, okay, there's a land. We'll attack. Well, now we got Heliod's Pilgrim coming down, and this will let us play our Daybreak Chimera next turn, at the very least. Take an aura. We'll take... I guess we already have removal in Iroas' Blessing. I mean, in Triumphant Surge and Banishing Light. So we're going to take Commanding Presence as our strongest threat. If we can stick this on a creature and go to town, we'll be pretty happy about it. Okay, well, we drew the Iroas' Blessing anyway. Oh, we can't even play the Daybreak Chimera, jeez. Okay, we'll attack. I guess we're just gonna loot here. And I guess we should do it now. Yeah, we'll do it now, because if we draw a land, we'll discard... Oh, actually, I kind of want all these. Maybe looting was a bad idea. I'll take... I'll discard the Chimera, I guess. Well, there's another card we can't cast. Yeah, that was a... I don't know. Sure. Oh, still no land. I still guess we just Banishing Light this thing, because we got so much removal. I don't think we want to just... Oh, no. Okay, we'll pump up the Oriad. I think we just want to ride this removal to victory, right? If we can. So I think taking the turn off to play the Favored of Iroas is a bad idea, because our opponent's been playing nothing. So chances are they have a lot of high drops in hand, or maybe they're just missing their second color. So if we can draw a land here, and just go removal into removal, we should just win the game. I wonder if they're, yeah, maybe they're just mana screwed. Maybe they're having some trouble finding their second. Well, there's a Transcendent Envoy. They either just drew that or there's a reason they were holding on to it. I'm not sure. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Well, this should be game then. We pretty much drew the perfect card. So we'll put this on our, I guess on our Helios Pilgrim. Pump up our Oriad. And attack. Wow, okay. Our opponent just blocks the Pious Wayfinder, sure. So, we should be good here. If our opponent attacks, we can Iroas' Blessing whatever creature they play. The God's Punishment, sure. Okay, so... I mean, they could have something here that could potentially... Wow, Reverend Hoplite. Okay. Okay, I think we'll just... Iroas' Blessing. Kill the Envoy. And... pass the turn. We'll just start ticking down on this Helios Pilgrim. So it looks like our opponent's actually on mono white. Sure. Laguna Band Storyteller will gain them some life back. Interesting. A mono, I haven't seen, like, I haven't played against a devotion deck yet, like a monocolor devotion deck. I think here we can only play one thing anyway, so I guess we just go with the favorite Iroas. And pass turn. If they put the Commanding Presence on their Laguna Band Storyteller, we can... Yeah, we can just exile that, so we're not too worried about that. No, we will just chump. Alright. Yeah. They could potentially... I guess we just do it now, because they could draw the Karametra's Blessing to give it a hexproof. So, yeah. And... pass turn. Next turn we can start getting in with the favorite of Iroas. Sure, Captivating Unicorn's fine. Tick down. Okay. We'll play the Nyx... Yeah, I guess we'll just play both of these out. Nyxborn Courser. Yeah, we'll attack with the favorite of Iroas, see what they do. If they just block with the Unicorn, we're okay with that. Potentially they could just block with a bunch of 1/1s, but we're okay with that too. Okay, sure. Oh, they're just gonna chump, sure. Okay, in that case, we're going to, we're just gonna pass the turn here and loot away the planes. Oh, another Storyteller. That's actually pretty good. Sure. Gain 4 more life. Our opponent's got enough life gain to stay in the game here. And that, with the Captivating Unicorn, is going to be pretty brutal. Do we want to just... Yeah, then we block and block. Kill our Oriad. Get the last counter so we can finally unlock our Helios Pilgrim. Ooh, Karametra's Blessing's not bad. Yeah, so we'll play a Plains, play Dawn Evangel. Pump up our favorite Iroas, attack, and attack. I think we will just pump up our favorite Iroas so that we don't lose it. Pass the turn. Opponent pumps up their dude into a 3/4 for striker. Ooh, Anax is pretty good. Yep, so we'll play Anax. And we will pass the turn. We can't get through this Reverend Hoplite right now. If we can get our shock, we can get through it. There's another land. Okay, if we attack with everything... attack with everything. They get to eat one thing, get to attack back and make a 1/1. I don't think we attack. There's some argument there that we attack with everything because we're going to start making 1/1s with this Anax. But okay. Almost got. Oh, here we go. There's a good reason not to attack with everything, so this should be game. Yep, get the Revenant Hoplite, and our opponent is dead. So we probably could have done that better. There was a turn where I meant to do the Iroas' Blessing, and instead I accidentally did the Commanding Presence. And because of that, we didn't kill a blocker when we could have. And I mean, our opponent still might have lived. I think they played the Storyteller next turn, so they might have gained enough life to live. But a little bit of a misplay, and we still ended up winning, but we probably made it a little harder than we needed to. So mono white, mono white devotion. I guess we could potentially bring in this Revelant Revelers because they had a decent amount of artifacts, but I don't think we will. I mean, the Revelers just aren't that good. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it, and if there's a game 3, we'll bring it in potentially because they had those Pantheons, whatever they're called, the 3-mana artifacts. Yeah, we'll keep these. We got Favored of Iroas into Dawn Evangel to get in for a lot of damage. Okay, Mountain, pass turn. Oread, pass turn. Okay, we'll play Favored of Iroas. And pass turn. Yeah, there's another Altar of the Pantheon. I wonder, yeah, maybe we should... It's possible we should be bringing it in. I think instead of Dawn Evangel, because we don't want to trade with their Dawn Evangel, play the Heliod's Pilgrim here. Get the... I'll get the Iroas Blessing, so we can clear our blocker out of the way. And pass turn. Because this is pretty much always going to have double strike anyway with his hand, I think it's better to get Iroas' Blessing. Alright, there's Commanding Presence, sure. I'll just take it. Oh, we drew our Commanding Presence, wow. Is that what we want to do? I think instead what we'll do is Dawn Evangel, Oread, get in with everything. Yep, save some life. Pass a turn. And now we can potentially suit up our Dawn Evangel. Okay, Captivating Unicorn. We'll have to kill that because it can block down, or tap down our blockers. Ooh, Omen of the Forge is not bad. So we will Iroas' Blessing here. Put it on our Favored of Iroas. Blow up the Captivating Unicorn. Attack, 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 and attack. Plan to chump with this Heliod's Pilgrim. Okay, Daxos to gain some life here. We'll just jump. So we're gonna Commanding Presence up this Dawn Evangel. Go to combat, attack with everything except the Oread. Sure. Kill the Courser. Opponent gains a life, and we will play the other Oread here. Pass turn. Whoa. Okay. That's a little scary. I guess we chump and chump. Land's not what we wanted to see. We will attack with everything. I'm going to... I probably should have looted pre-combat, but I'm going to do this now. Give it double strike. Attack. Make a 1-1. And we will just scry with the Omen of the Forge. There's Storyteller to gain some life back. That's not what we wanted to see. I think Scry 2 is better than just looting here. Okay, sacrifice this. Put both to the bottom. We're just looking for our Elspeth here. Okay. Draw a card, discard this Plains. Ooh. Actually, that's not very good, is it? That's not great. I guess we just pass the turn here. We'll start looting with this Oread. Unfortunately, I have a way to just continually gain life with this Altar of the Pantheon. Between this Altar of the Pantheon and this Daxos, it's a little problematic. Sure. This is going to gain him a couple life. Okay, we will move again. We do have a nice way to sort of loot into our bombs, hopefully. Like that Triumphant Surge, that's a really good one. This is an instant speed. Yeah, we're just gonna exile the Daxos. Oh, I thought that was an exile. That's destroy, huh? That's. Ay. Okay, new cards. I thought this was exile target creature with power 4 or greater. And now we will pass the turn. This Underworld Ragehound is gonna just run itself into its death, but that's okay. Yeah, we should have killed the Dawn Evangel. If I known this was... So if I were to use the Storm's Wrath, that kills 1, 2, that takes 1, 2, 3 toughness off of this Daxos, which means he still has 2 more, it won't kill the Daxos. So, we'll loot here, loot a land away. Alright, and... I gotta attack with the Underworld Ragehound, sure. Get this in the graveyard, sure. Pass turn. Okay, Transcendent Envoy. He's to gain a life. Okay, Commanding Presence. Well, we might have to Storm's Wrath here, even though it's not great for us. Loot, discard a mountain. Daybreak Chimera. Okay, so we are going to... We're going to attack with this Favorite of Iroas. He should just block with the first striker, but maybe he'll block with, like... We'll see. He could block not so profitably. Okay. And now we will... I don't want to tap all my red here. Yeah, now we'll Storm's Wrath. Get back Oread. Play a Plains, play Daybreak Chimera, pass turn. Yep, so our opponent gains just a truckload of life. Okay, lean into the Lost Pride to get rid of our Ragehound, I'm sure. Wait, doesn't that... Oh, it's when it dies. I thought it was when it enters the battlefield. New cards, new cards. Alright, attack with Daybreak Chimera. Play Dawn Evangel. Play Oread. Pass the turn. I'm just going to scribe before the draw step, sure. Eventually we'll hit our Elspeth Conquers Death to exile this Dawn Evangel, and we should be in good shape after that. That's not what we wanted to see. Okay, I guess we just get in with our Daybreak Chimera. I think we'll just loot first. We'll loot this Pious Wayfarer away. And yeah, and we'll just play this Underworld Ragehound now. Actually, I guess playing this Nyxborn Courser is just better than playing that, right? Because the Ragehound is just going to run itself into the Dawn Evangel. Alright, there's a Storyteller. That's concerning. This can get back a... Yep, get back a Commanding Presence. This is an interesting deck our opponent has, this mono-white devotion strategy. Well, we have a Storyteller too. Yeah, we'll do it. Get our... We get to go in our graveyard, get back a Iroas's Blessing, put it into our hand, attack for 3, pass turn. Alright. Wow. Okay, alright. If we block with everything, he gets to kill the Dawn Evangel. But he... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or he can kill these two, and then he takes 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, I think we kill this Dawn Evangel no matter what. So we will block with everything. Sure. And this will get a lot of devotion off the battlefield. Make that Daxos... I guess not killable, but reduce that Daxos a bit. Okay, get back Oriad, get back Oriad. Now we kill his Dawn Evangel. He also gets back creatures. Sure. And we will loot, discard one of the Oriads we put back into our hand. Get our Iroas's Blessing, which we will cast, targeting our Daybreak Chimera to kill their Transcendent Envoy. It'll attack. And yeah, I guess that's it. Just him. And we're just gonna loot with our Oriad here. Still looking for our Elspeth. Loot. Loot away at plains. Jeez, are we ever gonna draw it? Loot. Loot away a mountain. There it is. Okay, and now we will just kill this Storyteller. Go to combat, attack with everything. Opponent gets to exile our Ragehound, which is fine. And this should be hopefully too far for them to get back. They could potentially have like the Wrath of God, I guess, which would be bad, but we eventually can reanimate something, so it's not even that big of a deal. Okay. Alright. So we got there. So that was, our opponent had a pretty interesting deck. Mono-white Devotion in draft. It seemed like it kind of lacked ways to finish the game. Like, it did good at keeping itself alive, had a lot of life gain, had a lot of ways to stall out the board, and when it did draw its hoplite, that looked pretty good, but outside of that, it just seemed like it didn't have many ways to actually kill us. Just sort of did nothing, really. Still, though, it's pretty impressive how much life they gained. They gained probably, I don't even know, like 20, 30 life that game. Pretty crazy, but we got there anyway, so yeah. On to the next game. Okay, up against Bertus, and what may be our last game. Yeah, this hand actually looks great. We can go Oriad into Anax, not bad at all. So if we win this, I believe it's our last game of the league. If we lose, we could still potentially go on for games past this. Alright, there's the Arachneer. The Arachneer's an interesting card. It's pretty anemic on its front half, but its escape half is pretty good. So I think it's like, it's weirdly a card you like want to die. You want it to die so you can get the better half of it. I guess we just attack and put the fear of God in them. No, they fear nothing. Alright, Annex. Good old 3-3. And we've got this Triumphant Surge if they try to play something. I guess it doesn't really. I mean, it'd have to be pretty big for the Triumphant Surge to get it, but. Scavenging Harpy, okay. Ooh, yeah, I think we just Banishing Light this Chainweb Arachneer. So that they don't have it, you know, they can't do their whole. What they wanted to do is double block with Annex, lose both their creatures, but then get that Arachneer in the graveyard to escape it back. So by putting it under the Banishing Light, we stop it forever. Okay, and now we get to kill this Nyxborn Marauder with our Triumphant Surge, so it's all coming together here. Yep. Triumphant Surge, get rid of the Nyxborn Marauder, attack for 4. Next turn we can play the Daybreak Chimera. Okay. Alright, so opponent eats our Anax. He is extinct. And they chose to leave it on top, which is a little concerning. Ooh, Aroa's Blessing is not bad. I think we just Chimera here. Attack. And we can, if they, hopefully we're able to Iroa's Blessing whatever they left on top. 4 damage should be enough to kill most things. There's another, we've seen a number of green-black decks. They seem to be like escape focused. Sort of self-mill. They seem pretty good. Escape really changes the way games are played, I think. It's hard to like actually run your opponent out of resources because of escape. Like even one escape card means that your opponent can like never run out of resources. Alright. Can't be blocked by enchanted creatures or enchantment creatures. Sure. And Underworld Charger. Sure. Okay, I think we'll just attack with the Chimera here, and then we'll play out our 2 creatures, our Dawn Evangel and our Oread. Pass the turn. We're just not going to block this Underworld Charger. And this puts us in a position to kill our opponent in 2 turns with this Daybreak Chimera. And also, when we have it, oh, well, that would have been nice to have it at 4 toughness, so that wouldn't have happened. Yikes. So maybe we shouldn't have done that. I don't know. Yeah, maybe when maybe by the time I'm more familiar with the format, I would foresee that happening, but you know, being new to the format, I did not think we would want that extra point of toughness quite so badly. Okay, there's a test and champ training, sure. Another Arachneer. Okay, Owen's not bad. So if we shock and Iroa's Blessing, we can get in for 5. But that's not. Then they can get back the Arachneer. This is a tough one. I don't know. Okay, I can't even do both anyway, so I guess we will put this on the Oread. We'll blow up the Temple Thief. Attack with both, or attack with all 3. Opponent can block with the Arachneer. Okay, we get in for 3. And they can get the Arachneer back next turn. No. Oh, do they not have enough cards in their graveyard? Oh, they can't get the Arachneer back. Okay. So I think we Omen of the Forge, get this Scavenging Harpy out of the way. And that's game. Ba-bam. See ya, Bertus. Yes. Another thing, you should probably count. I just assumed they had enough cards to get that Arachneer back, but they didn't actually. So, you should probably actually count. So, I I thought the Selena of the Lost Pride was when it enters the battlefield, you exile a creature, or exile a card from your opponent's graveyard, but it's when it dies, which is pretty bad. Your opponent just sees it coming from so far away, they can escape around it. So I don't think we actually, even though this is like the graveyard deck, I think it's bad enough that we don't want it, so we'll just run it back like this. Okay, game 2 against Burtis. I think we keep this. It's a pretty aggressive hand. Okay, there's freaking Arachneer. Yep. I think we'll probably just go, well, now I guess we go Celebrant. Because if they block Celebrant here, it's just going to be a clean 2 for 1. Celebrant's such a good card. It's crazy. 2-1 for 2. Okay, just going to draw. Ooh, there's Anathema. Okay, so that's what our opponent's doing. We're definitely going to save this Omen of the Fort to kill this Anathema, because that's Anathema, whatever it's called. That's a pretty cool little combo too. Huh. I like our opponent's deck. Wow, really? Do it. We didn't draw land. Okay, we'll attack. See if our opponent wants to block. They do not. Well, if we can't draw our lands, we're going to be in bad shape. Really got to draw a land next turn, I think. If we can kill this Anathema, we'll be pretty happy, but they got Mogus's Favor in their graveyard. I guess they can recast that to kill either one of our creatures. Discordant Piper, not good for us. Warbriar's Blessing, okay. Alright, just gonna kill the... I mean, that thing would have died anyway, but sure. Ugh. Well, I guess we just stay on defense. Jeez. Well, you know, I guess there was some risk to keeping this hand that we just never draw a third land, but that's pretty rough. Still definitely just going to kill this Anathema, without a doubt. Wow, Mogus's Favor. Sure. I mean, we can... Okay. See what our opponent does. Sure. I don't know what our opponent's plan is here, but we're gonna Omen of the Forge, kill the Anathema, block the Chainwave Arachneer, kill the Chainwave Arachneer. Okay, and we drew a land too, which is good, and we will... Let me just Heliod's Pilgrim. Get a non-land out of our deck. Take the Irosa's Blessing. Pass the turn. We'll just trade with the Discordant Piper here. Yeah, okay. We'll trade with the Discordant Piper. Save some life. Four, 3. Okay, that's a good draw. Now we can... We got an enchantment in our graveyard. We do not. So I guess we just... I guess we'll just probably Triumphant Surge that Nyxborn Marauder. Yeah, let's do it now. Okay. And pass turn. They can exile that to get their Arachneer back, but they could do that no matter what. You know, we didn't want to take a hit from this thing to stop them from doing that. And we do have an answer to the Arachneer in the form of Banishing Light, so... We're okay. Okay, here comes the Arachneer as a 4/5, but then we get to just Banishing Light it. Get rid of the Arachneer. Pass turn. And now we can start, like, get back our Rage Hound. Oh, well, that's okay, because it's just a little Arachneer. Wow, they got plenty of Arachneers. Okay, I think here... Okay, land's good. So I guess we can only cast one thing, right? Yeah, I guess getting back the Rage Hound makes sense. Yeah, okay, let's get back the Rage Hound. Exile, exile, exile. They can cast Mogus's Favor to lower this thing's toughness to 1 and make it trade with any of their creatures, but we're okay with that. Okay, opponent's just going to start milling stuff. Oh, they milled Eat to Extinction, which is good for us. Right. Yeah, here I think we go... I think we'll Commanding Presence, actually. Attack. They can chump with a goat. Yeah. And suddenly this Rage Hound... I mean, now this Mogus's Favor sucks. If they put Mogus's Favor on our Rage Hound, it doesn't actually make it easier to kill, because it's got First Strike. Sure. Test and training. Are they just going to put it on their own creature? They are. Wow. Okay. They're just trying to get aggressive back. They're trying to race us here. Sure. That's going to be pretty hard to do with a Commanding Presence, though. In fact, it may be impossible to do. Okay. It's great. We will attack. Make a 1/1. Main phase 2. And here we'll just Favored by Aerois, or Favored of Aerois and Nyxborn Courser, and opponent is in bad shape now. I mean, yeah, I guess they were just hoping we had nothing. Wow. Oh no, we got First Strike, so that's okay. Yeah, they got Trample here, so I think we'll just trade our Courser, just so we only take 1 damage. Sure. Anax is pretty good. So we will... I think we will play Anax. Give our Favored by Aerois First Strike. Attack with everything except the 1/1. They can start chumping with Arachniers to get them back. But we can deal with that. Okay, they're just going to chump with both. Save as much life as they can. I mean, they don't even... I mean, they can bring back an Arachnier, sure, but it's a 3/5, and we've got a 6/4 First Striker. It's not like it's especially good. Okay. Oh, Woe Strider's good. That's a good one. We're just going to have to kill that, I think. I guess they can escape it back too, but... yeah, they can escape it back right away. Yeah, I guess we do it, though. So we will suit up our Favored by Aerois, shoot down this Woe Strider, give it Double Strike, go to combat. Well, first we'll play our Oread to pump our Anax a bit more. And we will attack with everything except the 1/1. Okay. Anax trades with a Spider. So they can get back the Spider or the Woe Rider, but not both. And I think we just hold on to the mountain to loot with Oread at this point. Yeah, so, I mean, they've got all this escape value in their graveyard, and they got the cards to do it, but we've just put them under so much pressure that they can't really capitalize on it. I mean, if they just get the Woe Rider back here, okay. I mean, our board still just beats that pretty much. Varicus. Okay. Well, we got good answers to that in the form of our creatures that are easy to sacrifice. I'm guessing they just get back Woe Rider here. It's 5 mana, right? Yeah. 5 mana and 4 cards to escape, so they can do that. Yeah, there's the Woe Rider, sure. So any enchantment will be pretty good here to give our Favored Double Strike. That's not it. Okay, I guess we can get back Anax with Laguna Band Storyteller and then play it. Yeah, let's do that. Laguna Band Storyteller. Oh, wait. That doesn't... Ugh. I thought that put it back in our hand, but it puts it on top of our deck, doesn't it? That's a little. Oh, and it even tapped us, so we can't cast our Daybreak Chimera. No, Arena, Arena. Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay, all around, not a great turn. Now they get to block our Rage Hound profitably. Jeez. Yeah. What if we attack with everything? They block, block, block. Yeah, they don't take that much damage. I mean, they got a double block with these to kill our Underworld Rage Hound, so maybe we do just go like that. Yeah, I think we attack with everything else. Okay, they're just gonna chump and eat some 1/1s. We're okay with that. We're okay with this. Because that keeps our Rage Hound alive. Because they could have just double blocked with Woe Strider and Farrakhan's Spawn. Yep. Yeah, so this was a this was a fairly disastrous turn for us. Yeah, we'll pass the turn. I mean, even if it hadn't tapped us like this, so we could have played our Daybreak Chimera, we'd be in pretty good shape. But pretty much everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong there. It tapped us. The auto tapper tapped us out of all of our white mana, so we can't play Daybreak Chimera. And I guess it was trying to leave us a red mana to sacrifice this Omen of the Forge, is probably what it was doing. But we did not. That was not better than playing a 3/3 flyer for 2 mana. Oh, an Aspect of the Lamprey kills. The ultimate punishment. Dear God. Okay. So this is a 5/4. Okay. This sucks. We're gonna lose our favorite Virois, but I think it's worth it. I just don't want them to have a big life-linking threat. Okay, and yeah, go to any reason to play this pre-combat? Not really. We'll just attack with everything except our 1/1s. Sure, opponent's gonna chump and trade. Yep. And we'll play the Anax here. Our opponent has... They can't get back the Woe Strider. Oh, yes they can. It's 4 cards. I thought it was 5. Blech. Okay, so they can get back the Woe Strider again, sure. Can they get back the Farrakhan's Spawn? Yeah, they could get back... They can pretty much get back anything except the Spider. No, they can get back the Spider too. Which one of these is 5? For some reason I thought one of them was Escape with 5 cards, but they're all 4 or less, so they can get back any of them, whichever they feel like. Farrakhan's Spawn is fine if they want to get that back, because we can just sacrifice... Yeah, we can just sacrifice the Satyr. Sure. Sacrifice the Satyr. Elspeth's Nightmare. Blow up our other creature. We probably should have done this on our draw step. Yeah, that was a mistake. We should have cracked that Dawn of the Forge on our Omen of the Forge on our draw step. What does this do? Okay. So we want to scry, so we... Well, it doesn't matter actually. Yep. So pretty much any removal is great here. Yeah, we will scry. And that is the best removal of them all, and that's game, I think. Good game, well played. And we took it down, wow. So we just utterly crushed our first Theros Beyond Death sealed here, or rather our first Theros Beyond Death draft. That was my first experience with the draft here, and it was just a crushing performance by this red-white, like, Enchantress aggro deck. We got the full 5 wins, 0 losses. So yeah, I guess, what's the big takeaway we can take from this? Really that the synergies were what put us over the top. Like, we were doing a lot of cool things. We had some good aggressive creatures, but really just being able to have that Eros is favored for the 2/2 that gets double strike, that was that card extremely overperformed with us because pretty much all of our creatures were enchantment creatures. It was just always double striking, and then whenever we stuck an aura on that thing, it was pretty much unstoppable. So synergies are the key. If you don't want to just build a generic good stuff deck, I don't think. We ran into a number of decks that kind of look like that to me, and they just didn't seem to get there. It seems like you can't just rely on good value to get you there in that format. And I think part of the reason why is escape. I think escape makes value less important because there's just this easy, repeatable way to generate value over and over and over again for like every deck. I think just kind of one for oneing and trading resources and winning that battle is harder than usual, and I think it's more about tempo and synergy and kind of having these things that are hard to deal with rather than just having a lot of card advantage. So that's the big takeaway I took away from this draft. But let's claim our prize. Got all our gems back we got for entering and then some, and let's open our packs and see what we get. So pack 1 we got Thassa Deep Dwelling, my favorite of the gods. Just an awesome card. Just a Conjurer's Closet that can be your commander. Can't do much better than that. Awesome card. Alright, let's open the next one. Rise of Glory is a cool card. I want to kind of try to build around that, but Mantle of the Wolf, good aura. On to the next one. Alright. Temple of Malice. This is what I really want. Because I hate spending wild cards on lands, even though it's probably like the best thing to spend wild cards on, so it's always great to pull one out of a pack so you don't feel like you have to waste your wild card on something fundamental like that. Good old Gary. Ooh, and a mythic rare wild card, always appreciated. And open up this pack. Terranika, a Crowan Veteran. This is a cool card. It like basically makes a creature into a Gideon that's fighting alongside her, and she's like, the flavor is that she's like, oh, Kithian keeps watch over us, and one of the creatures literally is protected by Kithian. So that's pretty cool. And last pack we got Storm's Wrath. Hey, it's our rare from the draft. Although I think probably Elspeth Conquers Death was a little bit more important of a rare than Storm's Wrath, but we did have some good plays with this. There was that one time when the board was just absolutely cluttered, and we were able to pretty quickly turn the tides of the game by wrathing. So, well, that's gonna wrap it up for our very first Theros Beyond Death draft. I had fun. This is a pretty interesting new format, and it seems like we did pretty well. So I hope you enjoyed watching, because I enjoyed playing. So this has been 2D. See you next time.